Hi guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to another video. My name is Sonia for those of you that are new, and today we're going to be doing our first ever story time. I'm going to be telling you about the time that my suitcase was stolen in Rome. So today's episode 2 of Throwback Thursdays. We did the first one last Thursday with my mum and my sister. If you haven't seen that video, go check it after this video. So, as the title says, and as I mentioned in the intro, today's story time is going to be about the time that my suitcase was stolen in Rome. And in order to tell this story, we need to backtrack in time about 6 years ago. Oh my god, is it really 6 years? That's crazy. Anyway, so we need to backtrack 6 years, and that's when we go to my second year of university. Now, I went to the University of Sussex to study art history and French. This was a trip for the art history students. We were going to Rome for a week to study all the buildings and the architecture and to get a workbook done while we were there and all this stuff. And it was very exciting because it was the very first trip that I had done with the university, and also because I didn't really know my my course mates. Because I did French as well as art history, I only got to do half of the art history modules and the other half were French for me, so I never really got to like make friends within the art history circle. So I was always excited to go on this trip and meet some of my colleagues. So, it's been so long ago now, but basically, as I said, it was an exciting time. Second year of university as well was the year where I didn't get to go home for Christmas because I was working, and I was working in retail at the time. I was working for Disney Store, so we didn't really get to have holidays around Christmas because that's when it gets the busiest. And I remember that a few weeks before the trip, my mum had come down to Brighton because that's where I was living, and she gave me my presents that my grandparents and her and everyone had kind of got me for Christmas. She brought them down, so I took some of my presents with me. I remember packing them. I had some brand new purple Vans, which I was so excited for, some new sunglasses, some new clothing items. Because my mum had come down to Brighton, we also went shopping and she bought me a couple of bits that I was like, okay, I'm keeping that for Rome, and really excited. But especially as a student, like, you don't really have any money, so anything that anyone gets you, you're like, yay. Anyways, so as I said, second year of university, art history trip to Rome. So it was about 50 of us, maybe 60, I don't really remember, it's all a blur at the moment, but there was a considerable amount of us. We all went together on the same plane, got there, and up until then all was fine. But then we got to the airport and I got my suitcase from the suitcase belt like everyone else. So, you know, usually you think if your suitcase is gonna go missing anywhere, it's gonna be at the airport, like it's gonna go to a different country, or it's just gonna get taken by someone else by mistake, or... But no, I had my suitcase at the airport, and not only that, I had quite a lot on me on the plane. I had my laptop, I had like my reading glasses and some other bits that were just really heavy in my handbag, and my laptop didn't even fit in my handbag, so I put them in my suitcase. That was such a mistake. Like, I had so much coursework that was due in that laptop, and anyways. So we got to the airport, and as I said, all was good. I had my suitcase, and then we went outside, and we were supposed to have a private bus that was gonna take us from the airport all the way to the hostel. But for some reason that bus didn't show up, so we waited for like an hour and a half, and it just wasn't showing up. I remember the teachers and like the coordinators and things like that were calling up to the service that was supposed to deliver the coach, and they didn't show up. So they ended up coming to an agreement with another service that the airport was providing to like take big groups into the city, and basically they would drop us at Termini station, which wasn't far from the hotel that we were staying at. So that's what we did. We all put our luggages in the boot of this bus, you would say, like a mini bus, and we all got on board, and it was only us, like there was no one else that got on board that bus, just the 50 or 60 of us students. And we got to Termini and we started getting off the bus. The doors had opened obviously for the boots, so people could start retrieving their suitcases, and I look at where my suitcase was supposed to be because I had dropped it off with someone else at the same spot. I'm like, my suitcase is not here. And suddenly I just freak, like you just have that feeling that something's not right because you know exactly where you put it. So I grabbed one of the girls that I had kind of spoken to on the plane, and I'm like, I can't find my suitcase, it's not where it was, can you just help me have a look for it, because I'm freaking out right now and I might not be able to see it because of that. So I go with this other girl, we circle the bus, we look at all the suitcases, we look twice, we look at all the suitcases that have been taken off the bus, and there is no sign of my suitcase. I start shaking and I'm just like, oh my god, like where is my suitcase? Like all the nice clothes that I own, like all these outfits that I've planned for the whole week, like my laptop, everything's in there, like where is it? So we go around the whole bus again, can't see it, it's just not there. And it had like a yellow bow on it, so it was quite distinctive. It was black with loads of little bows and then yellow bow, and it just wasn't there. Someone had obviously come round and taken it as the bus had opened the boot. So we go get the teachers, we tell them that my suitcase is not there, and the first thing I did was, when I arrived to Rome was go to the police station at Termini to file a report for my missing suitcase. So that was a fun 2 hours, and I was shaking and like just like very anxious the whole time. I didn't feel safe. I was like, I don't want to be here, like all my stuff has been taken. I literally have no clothes, nothing with me. I have my camera, but I don't even have my charger, I don't even have my phone charger, everything's in the suitcase. So we went back to the hostel, and one of the girls offered me one of her toothbrushes because she was carrying two, which was really nice, but at the same time, like, I don't think I fully appreciated it at the time because I was just so devastated and so just so heartbroken, really. I think I personally get very emotionally attached to things, and less so now that I'm older, but when I was younger it was definitely a thing that I did. And you know, I had just gone on this trip with all these other students and only my stuff had gone missing, and I felt like victimized at the time, and I know that there's no, like, that's not the way I should look at it, and it's not the way I look at it now, but at the time that's how I felt, and I just felt really confused. You know, I was like 19 years old and I just felt like, why are people so mean? Like, I was a lot more naive than I am now as well. So I think it just hit me. It was just like the first time that I fully realized that bad things happen to everyone, and you know, nobody's special. So yeah, that's the story. I mean, when if you want to know a little bit more about it, I ended up staying in Rome for 3 days out of the 7. I took as many photos as I could with the camera that I had in order to do the work that I needed to do when I got back home, and I then requested to get on a flight home because I just couldn't handle it. I remember I had, at the time, less than £100 left in my account, and obviously I needed to buy all these new clothes, at least some underwear, like a t-shirt, some like trousers, something to be able to wear for those 3 days, you know. I was only wearing the clothes that I was wearing on the plane, which just made me feel so grubby. And yeah, clothes in Rome are not exactly cheap, so it was interesting. But hey, I was healthy, I was alive, and that's the most important thing. Sometimes you just have to not put so much importance and value on materialistic things, because obviously they can be gone at any time. But I just wanted to share this story with you. I mean, there's not anything that I could have done to prevent it. There's nothing that you probably could have done to prevent it in the same situation, because, you know, if they lift the boot doors and someone grabs it before people get off the bus, then it's very difficult to stop them or to pinpoint someone else with your suitcase. And, you know, when we went to the police station to report it, they told us that it was the 3rd or 4th person that it happened to that day. So I think in terms of security from the Rome police, for example, they could potentially be doing more to prevent this sort of things. Maybe put some cameras outside the buildings where the buses are dropping off passengers and things like that. But, you know, outside of that, there's not that much that you can do, and it could have happened to anyone in any city, really. So yeah. I hope that you enjoyed this story time. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're not yet subscribed. And I will see you on Sunday for another video. Bye!